about her life with my father, a strange and sometimes cruel gentleman. She would tell you about the choices a young black woman faces. Is falling in love with some man a deal with the devil in blue terms? The tongue we use when we don't want nuance to get in the way when we need to talk straight? My mother chooses my father after choosing a man who was, as we sing it, of no account. This man made my father look good. That's how bad it was. He made my father seem like an island in the middle of a stormy sea. He made my father look like a rock. And is the blues the moment you realize you exist in a stacked deck? You look in the mirror at your young face, the face my sister carries, and you know it's the only leverage you've got. Does this create a hurt that whispers, how you going to do? Is the blues the moment you shrug your shoulders and agree? A girl without money is nothing, just to be pushed around by any old breeze. Compared to this, my father seems, briefly, to be a fire escape. This is the way the blues works its sorry wonders. Makes troubles look like a feather bed. Makes the wrong man's kisses a healing. Thank you.
We are now ready for our last recitation from Ruth Edmonston.
Love the Third by George Herbert. Love bade me welcome, yet my soul drew back, guilty of dust and sin. But quick-eyed love, observing me grow slack, from my first entrance in, drew near to me, sweetly questioning if I lacked anything. A guest, I answered, worthy to be here. Love said, you shall be he. I, the unkind, ungrateful? Ah, my dear, I cannot look on thee. Love took my hand, and smiling did reply, who made the eyes but I? Truth, Lord, but I have marred them. Let my shame go where it doth deserve. And know you not, says Love, who bore the blame? My dear, then I will serve. You must sit down, says Love, and taste my meat. So I did sit and eat.
With her third poem, we'll now hear from Molly Williams.
The Properly Scholarly Attitude by Adelaide Crapsey. The poet pursues his beautiful theme, the preacher his golden beatitude. And I run after a vanishing dream, the glittering will o' the wispish gleam of the properly scholarly attitude. The highly desirable, the very advisable, the hardly acquirable, properly scholarly attitude. I envy the savage without any clothes, who lives in a tropical latitude. It's little of general culture he knows, but then he escapes the worrisome woes of the properly scholarly attitude. The unceasingly sighed over, wept over, cried over, the futilely died over. Properly scholarly attitude. I work and I work till I nearly am dead and could say what the watchman said, that I could. But still, with a sigh and a shake of a head, you don't understand, it is ruthlessly said, the properly scholarly attitude. The eye to be sought for, wrought for, and fought for, the ne'er to be caught for. Properly scholarly attitude. I really am sometimes tempted to say that it's merely a glittering platitude, that people have just fallen into the way when lacking a subject to tell of the sway of the properly scholarly attitude, the easily preachable, spread eagle speechable, in practice, unreachable, properly scholarly attitude. Thank you.
Now, with her last recitation, here's Elva Moreno.
Spanglish by Tato Laviera. Pues estoy creando Spanglish, bicultural systems, scientific lexicographical, intertextual integrations. Two expressions existentially wired. Two dominant languages continentally abrazándose en colloquial combate en las aceras del soil. Imperio Spanglish emerges, control pandillaje sobre territorio bilingual. Las novelas mexicanas mixing with radio rock and roll, condimented cocina lore, immigrant, migrant, nasal mispronouncements. Baraja chismeteo social club, hip hop prieto street salsa, corner soul and mixturando, Spanish pop parándola. Spanglish, standard English classrooms with computer technicalities. Spanglish is literally perfect. Spanglish is ethnically snobbish. Spanglish has got a whole inteligencia. Which U.S. slang do you speak?
With his final poem for today, this is Alex Hall.
Self-Inquiry Before the Job Interview by Gary Soto. Did you sneeze? Yes. I rid myself of the imposter inside me. Did you iron your shirt? Yes. I used the steam of mother's hate. Did you wash your hands? Yes! I learned my hygiene from a raccoon. I prayed on my knees, and my knees answered with pain. I gargled. I polished my shoes until I saw who I was. I inflated my resume by employing my middle name. I walked to my interview early, the sun like a ring on an electric stove. I patted my hair when I entered the window of a revolving door. The guard said, "For a guy like you, it's the 19th floor." The economy was up. Flags whipped in every city plaza in America. This I saw for myself as I rode the elevator. Empty, because everyone had a job but me. Did you clean your ears? Yes. I heard my fate in the drinking fountain's idiotic drivel. Did you slice a banana into your daily mush? I added a pinch of salt, 2 raisins to sweeten my breath. Did you remember your pen? I remembered my fingers when the elevator opened. I found a chair and desk. My name tag said my name. Through the glass ceiling, I saw the heavy rumps of CEOs. Outside my window, the sun was a burning stove. All of us, pushing papers to keep it going.
Cartoon Physics, Part 1, by Nick Flynn. Children under, say, 10 shouldn't know that the universe is ever expanding, inexorably pushing into the vacuum, galaxies swallowed by galaxies, whole solar systems collapsing. All of it acted out in silence. At 10, we are still learning the rules of cartoon animation, that if a man draws a door on a rock, only he can pass through it. Anyone else who tries will crash into the rock. 10-year-olds should stick to burning houses, car wrecks, ships going down, earthbound, tangible disasters, arenas where they can be heroes. You can run back into a burning house. Sinking ships have lifeboats. The trucks will come with their ladders. If you jump, you will be saved. A child places her hand on the roof of a school bus and drives it across a city of sand. She knows the exact spot it will skid, at which point the bridge will give, who will swim to safety, and who will be pulled under by sharks. She will learn that if a man runs off the edge of a cliff, he will not fall until he notices his mistake. Thank you.
Includes you. Now this face is talking, and you hear a sound in the voice, the accent on certain words. Yes, a phrase. You barely recall sitting outside by a pool or a campfire, remarking a peculiar, recurring expression. 2 syllables, wasn't it? Doorknob? Bathroom? Shawcross. What the hell kind of word is Shawcross? A name. Not the right one. A couple of syllables that could possibly be a little like something you may once have heard. So the talk drifts, and you drift, sneaking glances pounding your brain. Days later, a face occurs to you, and yes, there is a resemblance. That odd word, though, or phrase is gone. It must have been somebody else. Yes, it's like that. At times, something is maybe, and there are days when you can almost say what it is.
With her last recitation for today, Angel Rena Choi.
War Widow by Chris Abani. The telephone never rings. Still you pick it up, smile into the static, the breath of those you've loved, long dead. The leaf you pick from the fall rises and dips away with every ridge. Fingers stiff from time, you trace. Staring off into a distance limned by cataracts and other collected debris. You have forgotten none of the long ago joy of an ice cream truck and its summer song. Between the paving stones, between tea, a cup, and the sound of you pouring, between the time you woke that morning and the time when the letter came. A tired sorrow like an old flagellant able only to tease with a weak sting. Riding the elevator all day, floor after floor after floor. Each stop, some small victory whittled from the hard stone of death. You smile. They used to write epics about moments like this.
With her final recitation, Caitlin Davis.
In a Dark Time by Theodore Roth. In a dark time, the eye begins to see. I meet my shadow in the deepening shade. I hear my echo in the echoing wood, a lord of nature weeping to a tree. I live between the heron and the wren, beast of the hill and serpents of the den. What's madness but nobility of soul at odds with circumstance? The day's on fire. I know the purity of pure despair, my shadow pinned against a sweating wall. That place among the rocks, is it a cave or a winding path? The edge is what I have. A steady storm of correspondences, a night flowing with birds, a ragged moon, and in broad day, midnight come again. A man goes far to find out what he is, death of the self in a long, tearless night, all natural shapes blazing on natural light. Dark, dark my light and darker my desire. My soul, like some heat-maddened summer fly, keeps buzzing at the sill, which I is I. A fallen man, I climb out of my fear, and the mind enters itself, and God, the mind, and one is one, free in the tearing wind.
With the final recitation of today's project, Sarah Koo.
In Memoriam, Martin Luther King Jr. by June Jordan. Honey, people murder mercy. USA, the milkland, turned to monsters teach to kill, to violate, pull down, destroy the weekly freedom growing fruit from being born. America. Tomorrow, yesterday, rip, rape, exacerbate, despoil, disfigure, crazy running threat, the deadly thrall, appall, belief, dispel the wildlife, burn the breast, the onward tongue, the outward hand, deform the normal rainy riot, sunshine shelter wreck of darkness, derogate, delimit, blank, explode, deprive, assassinate and batten up like bullets, fatten up the raving greed, reactivate a springtime terrorizing death by men, by more than you or I can stop. They sleep, who know a regulated place, or pulse, or tide, or changing sky according to some universal stage direction, obvious like shore-washed shells. We share an afternoon of mourning. In between, no next predictable except for a wild reversal, hearse rehearsal. Bleach the black, long, lunging ritual of fright, insanity, and more deplorable abortion. More and more.
Thank you, performers, for your wonderful work here today. We appreciate you sharing these recitations with us. I asked the students here today to give me one word to synthesize their purposes in reciting these poems for you, our audience today. I asked them to complete the sentence, "I want my audience to blank." And they completed the sentence saying, These words: I want my audience to understand, feel, relate, think, remember, ponder, wonder. I think they did that today and more. It was really something to be on this side of the audience and see your facial expressions as each recitation occurred, to see how you responded as these poems moved from one human being to another. And I think we can each advocate for the fact that higher learning took place and each of these young people brought us something important today. I said we'd be coming together on purpose, in celebration of these young people and their commitments, their talents, their willingness to perform for us. And I feel I need to take a moment for a bit of individual reflection before we hand out the hardware. I think this is too big of a deal not to. So this is my comments section. And of course, my opinions are not reflective of the Missouri Arts Council, your teachers, your parents, or your friends, but much like the people who leave those snarky comments after an article about why it's so important to teach poetry, I get to because I'm at the microphone, just like at the keyboard. And I feel like I'm entitled to share these thoughts. So, Shakira, you showed us concentrating on purpose, a celebration of storytelling. Ruth, connecting on purpose, a celebration of genuineness. Molly, conversational on purpose, a celebration of smarts. Elva, thorough on purpose, a celebration of language. Alex, silence on purpose, a celebration of characterization. Kirsten, thoughtful on purpose, a celebration of realness. Lydia, where are you, Lydia? Gentle on purpose, a celebration of sincerity. Angel Rena, crisp on purpose, a celebration of complexity. Caitlin, deliberate on purpose, a celebration of soulfulness. Sarah, grounded on purpose, a celebration of specificity. Thank you to all 10 of our regional champions. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, I invite Nola Ruth and Michael Donovan of the Missouri Arts Council to the stage to present the awards.
The runner-up this year from Kansas City South is Molly Williams. And this year's state champion is Sarah Koo from St. Louis. Congratulations to everyone. Okay, Jenny is holding a big trophy that goes to the school.